Hello students, we are going to start with this second chapter in our physics, that is unit, measurement and dimension. Now see, whenever you are talking about physics, physics deals with a variety of experiments, and in experiment you require different kind of measurements, and for those measurements we have to define predefined units. With the help of them we can make our measurements. Initially, before I can say 17th or 18th century, people used human body as a reference for measurement. For example, the length of our arm was a unit of length, and that unit of length they call it as cubit. But as we know that this frame of reference of human body is going to change from person to person, so we need to have some definite set of unit which is widely accepted over worldwide. Still, even these units, with the help of these units, people have done fundamental job over the years. For example, the famous pyramid in Egypt, in order to build those famous pyramids in Egypt, they used this unit, that is cubit. But with increasing level of curiosities in science and increasing level of precision, we required new set of unit, and the first set of unit, which we call it as British system, the British system has used FPS system. Now F over here stands for foot, or sometimes they also call it as a feet. 1 feet distance. For measurement of length they used feet. For measurement of mass they used pounds, and for measurement of time they use second. Okay, so British system was regarded as FPS system. Even in our society we are measuring most of our distance even today in feet only, but remember, even this unit feet somewhere down the line has a reference attached to a human body. That is a distance covered when you walk in your 1 feet is called as a feet. Pound is used for measurement of mass, and second is used for measurement of time. Now the question arises in our mind that why only 3 units? Why only 3 quantities are mentioned over here? We might be having large amount of quantities that will require in order to understand the physics. But there are some fundamental quantities, and all other quantities can easily be derived using those fundamental quantities. So as far as earlier physics is concerned, we are talking about in Newtonian era, when there were not much, we can say, research work done on electricity, there were not much research work done on computation. At that time only the classical mechanics was a major part of physics, and in that we use these 3 basic quantities: foot, pound, second, or rather distance, mass and time. Rest all were derived quantity which can be easily derived from these 3. We'll come to that afterwards. Since this feet again is a physical quantity which is having human reference attached to it, so there is a large probability of error in it. So they come with one more system, that is called French system. In French system, rather than using foot as a unit of distance, they use meter as a unit of distance. For measurement of mass, they use fundamental unit as kilogram, and for time again they have used second. So after British system, there was a French system which uses meter as a unit of distance, kilogram as a unit of mass, and again second as a unit of time. Apart from MKS system, there was one more system which is very popular, which is called CGS system. Generally we write down CGS in small letters, CGS, where C stands for centimeter, G stands for grams, and S stands for seconds. Okay, so in CGS system, for distance we used centimeter as a unit, for mass we have used gram as a unit, and for time we have used second as a unit. For time we have used second as a unit. See, these are the fundamental system which was followed earlier. I have already told you it is before discovery of some of the mainstream physical concepts like electrostatics, thermodynamics, or even heat and all. So then, as physics advanced, as we got new and new concepts of physics, we also came across various physical quantities, and for those various physical quantities, there were some quantities which cannot even be derived using these three fundamental quantities. So we had one more advanced system that is called MKSA. MKSA is again a unit system in which for distance we used meter, for mass we use kilogram, for time we use second. So it is similar to MKS only, but there is one more additional term now over here, which is A. So A stands for ampere. So one can imagine that when we incorporated this unit system MKSA, before that the physics of electricity has already been discovered. So we required a new physical quantity or a new physical unit in order to define or measure electric current. So that is called as MKSA. So over here you can see we have started off with the British system FPS. Already told you that in FPS we had some human reference frame associated with it. In French system we have MKS. Okay, there is one more unit system which is similar to MKS and which is called CGS. CGS is basically, they are smaller set of unit, centimeter, gram, and second. And when electricity has also came, we use this one more system which is called MKSA, in which we require one more physical quantity, unit of one more physical quantity, that is electric current. But even after introducing MKSA, we had some more physical advancement, some more research work going on, and we require some more set of unit, and finally we have come across one system which is called SI system of measurement. In your 11th and 12th, for most of the part of physics, we'll use this SI system as our base system. Even if units are not given in SI, most of the time we'll try to convert all those units into this SI system. What does SI stands for? SI stands for System International. SI stands for System International, and even this system is derived or is based on this French system MKSA. But in SI system we are having set of 7 fundamental units and 2 supplementary units. Rest all units can easily be derived using set of these 7 fundamental units and 2 supplementary units. Now see, we were talking about this SI system. Before SI system we have discussed already some more unit system like FPS, CGS, MKS and MKSA, and finally we are coming to a system which has been accepted all across the globe for measurement, and that is called SI system. This is System International. Now in SI system we have set of fundamental units, rather we are having set of 7 fundamental units where we are having various quantities. There are predefined unit for each quantity and we have definite symbol for each unit. For example, for physical quantity length, okay, as far as mechanics is concerned, all our measurements, majority our measurements will require measurement of length, and in SI system for measurement of length we have accepted meter as a fundamental, or we can say as a worldwide accepted unit, and symbol of meter is say equals to m. Now there are various definitions that are being associated with each unit as well. Those definitions are given in your textbook. Those are just for the sake of information, but I would advise you to go through all those definitions because that will enhance your understanding regarding the units. So this is the first fundamental unit, length, okay, a physical quantity length which is a unit meter and symbol m. The second quantity is mass. In various physics areas we need to measure mass, and there are various units associated with mass as well. For example, in chemistry you already have come across AMU, that is atomic mass unit, or you can have a ton, is a large amount of mass, or a solar mass. But for mass, the SI system accepted kilogram as a widely accepted unit, and its symbol is kg. Apart from mass, the third physical quantity, that is time. See, in MKS, CGS, these 3 are very important physical quantities. As you learn more and more physics, you will understand importance of length, mass and time. For time, we have second as a accepted unit. Apart from second, we are having other units as well. Those are minute, then hour, or a week, month, year. But see, as far as our basic calculations are concerned, we will use second as a more preferred unit over all other unit, and it is having symbol say equals to S. Now the fourth unit, we already have discussed even this out, that is electric current. In today's world, we can say we are incomplete without electricity, and even electricity and magnetism are the part of physics. And for measurement of the amount of electric current, we have defined or accepted ampere as a unit in SI system, and which is having symbol capital A. Then we have three more physical quantities as fundamental quantities for which we have defined fundamental units. The fifth one is temperature. For temperature also we use a different unit, degree centigrade or degree Fahrenheit, but as far as SI system, they have accepted Kelvin as a base unit, and it is having symbol say equals to capital K. After temperature, next physical quantity, generally it is used in chemistry, amount of substance, and for that the accepted unit is mole and symbol is MOL, mole. Finally, the seventh and the last fundamental unit or fundamental quantities is luminous intensity. It is unit associated with photometry, wherein you have to measure intensity of various sources through which the light comes, like star, or even say for that case bulb. Unit for that is candela, and symbol for that quantity is given as small cd. So you have to remember, these are the 7 fundamental quantities which are there in our SI system. Now, why they are called as fundamental quantities? Why we call them as a fundamental quantities? Because any of these unit, for defining any of these unit, we do not require help of other quantities. Okay, fundamental quantities in SI system are those quantities for which we do not require help of other quantities in order to define their unit. So for length, mass, time, electric current, temperature, amount of substance, and luminous intensity, these units are self-reliant. They don't require other quantities help in order to define this. Okay, there are definitions associated with each unit. I already told you, those are given in your textbook. Those are only sake of information, but I will advise you to just go through all those definitions, because that will enhance your understanding regarding each unit. See, for example, as far as this time is concerned, we are using second as its fundamental unit. Second, how you define second? Now it is very difficult question, how you define say kilogram or how you define second. For kilogram, up till 2019, for past 110 or 120 years, we considered definition as a mass of platinum iridium cylinder, which is kept in some laboratory somewhere in Europe, and now it has been changed in year 2019 only. The definition of kilogram has been updated in say last year 2019 only, so it has been changed. In your textbook they might have given you the older definition. So these are all having specific definition with very high level of precision associated with each set of unit, and this we will use as our fundamental set of unit in our SI system. Now we have discussed 7 fundamental quantities in SI system. We'll name them one by one. Those are length, mass, time, electric current, then temperature, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. Apart from that, we are having 2 more units in our SI system, which are called supplementary units. Okay, these are called supplementary unit. They also require help of some fundamental quantities, but we don't keep them in derived units. There is reason to it, we'll just come across that reason. The first supplementary unit is plane angle. See, you have already come across this unit in your maths and say basically in geometry. Plane angle, what is the definition of angle? Like this way, when 2 rays they diverge from a single point, we define this as an angle between them, and generally we call it as say theta. Plane angle up till now, you have used one unit which is degree for measurement of plane angle. For example, for complete circle you measure 360 degree as an angle. For a square, each of the angle is equal to 90 degree. For equilateral triangle, each angle is 60 degree. So every time you use degree as a unit for measurement of angle. But remember, for SI system, degree is not the standard unit for measurement of plane angle, but standard unit for measurement of plane angle is radian. For measurement of angle, we'll use radian and not the degrees. Radian is a SI unit of plane angle, and symbol of radian is RAD. Now what is the definition of radian? Suppose that I am having this circle and this point is center of circle. The radius of circle is say equals to r, and consider this arc AB. You will say that there will always be a 2 arc, a larger arc and smaller arc. I am talking about the smaller arc, say AXB. An angle subtended by this arc at center is say equals to theta. This circle with its radius is equal to r, and there is this arc AXB which is subtending some angle theta at the center O. Then according to definition of radian, this theta angle, whenever you want to measure in radian, theta in radian will be equal to what? Its definition is length of arc divided by radius of circle. Theta in radian can be defined as length of arc which is subtending that angle at the center divided by radius. So in this case, this theta will be length of arc AXB divided by radius R. Okay, so this is how a radian has been defined. Now we also want to establish a relation between radian and degree. We already have discussed this topic in basic mathematics the previous session, but once again I am explaining this to you because this is a part of this chapter, relation between radian and degree. As far as radian is concerned, it is defined as length of arc divided by radius. But suppose that you are having a complete circle. So what is the angle that is been associated with complete circle? You are having a complete circle. So what is the angle associated with complete circle? We already know in terms of degree that it is 360 degree. For a complete circle, we already know that when you start from this point A, you go like this way. Once again you come at A, you rotate this line and again come at the same place, then angle that is been subtended that line will be equal to 360 degree. Now this is angle in terms of degree. What is the value of same angle in terms of radian? What we are having as definition? It is length of arc. Now for complete circle, you are coming from A back to this point A again, so that arc will be equal to circumference of the circle. You are starting off with point A, reaching this point A once again, so length of arc will be equal to circumference of circle, and circumference of that circle will be equal to 2 pi r divided by radius of circle. Radius of circle say equals to r. This r will get cancelled, so theta will be equal to 2 pi radians. See, the same angle of complete circle in terms of degree, it is 360 degree, but by using definition of radian, the same angle in radian is measured at 2 pi radian. So now we can establish a relation between radian and degree, that 2 pi radian equals to 360 degree. If 2 pi radian is equal to 360 degree, how will you define 1 radian? And how will you define 1 degree? See, 2 pi radian is equal to 360 degree. So 1 radian is equal to 360 by 2 pi degrees, and 1 degree will be equal to 2 pi divided by 360 radians. So these are the basic conversions that we will use in future. You should be very conversant with it. 1 radian is equal to 360 by 2 pi degree, and 1 degree is equal to 2 pi by 360 radian. So for example, suppose I want to measure this measurement 30 degree in radian. So how many radian is 30 degree? We already know that 1 degree is 2 pi by 360 radian. So 30 degree will be 30 into 2 pi by 360 radian. 30 12s are, this will get cancelled 6. So 30 degree will be equal to pi by 6 radian. So this is a one conversion. You can easily convert degrees into radian using this formula. 1 degree is equal to 2 pi by 360 radian. Similarly, you can go other way around. I have given you some measurement in radian, say pi by 4 radian. How to measure this pi by 4 radian in degree? So pi by 4 radian, if you want to convert it into degree,
multiplied with 360 by 2 pi. This pi and pi will get cancelled. This will get cancelled. 180 by 4 is 45 degree. So pi by 4 radian is nothing else but 45 degree. Okay. So the first supplementary unit in our discussion was plane angle, and I told you that you have used to measure plane angle using unit degree, but now for most of your physics you will use radian as its SI unit. We already have defined radian, that it is length of arc divided by radius. Length of arc which subtends some angle at center, and measurement of that angle in radian will be length of that particular arc divided by radius. We also have established relation between radian and degree, that 2 pi radian is equal to 360 degree. Okay.